today's topic. So usually we use two terminologies when it comes to teamwork. So and they are multidisciplinary approach and an interdisciplinary approach. Though both have a different definitions and way of approach, it is like they are being used interchangeably. So when it comes to multidisciplinary approach, it is a kind of work or teamwork where different professionals or individuals from different disciplines start or examine a patient from their own perspective and then start giving you uh, their suggestions. Whereas interdisciplinary is they have a common, uh, they discuss together and then come up with a common solution. So that is the major difference between a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approach, though they are being used interchangeably. So then we'll just have a disciplinary definitions apart and then aside, and then we'll just go into universal eye health defined by who. So which stresses on the quality eye care at affordable rate. So it is like why I say this is, though many parts of country or many parts of the world has access to quality eye care, they I don't think so it is affordable everywhere, at least in the developing country. So to meet the universal eye health, what we are supposed to go with is we will need a collaboration between healthcare practitioners, between healthcare practitioners and non-healthcare practitioners, and between organizations. Okay, so having these alliance and uh, unmet need of universal eye health, we as an optometry has uh, a major role to play when it comes to eye care. Okay. So it's like why optometry has a major role in this is, as an optometrist we are widely distributed in the communities, and we are the one who detects sight and sometimes life threatening conditions as well. So this is like and in many cases optometry serves as the entry point for many to get into the healthcare system who would otherwise not even seek a healthcare, or they don't even bother to get into the system. And as a professional, we start to uh, assure visual health, and then we advise and prepare our children to achieve further. So this in turn increases the or promotes the quality of a employee, in turn increasing the employment productivity as well. Okay. So we being an integral part of ICAR system, and in advancements in diagnostic and screening tools or technologies had eased our work in case of ocular diagnosis and in ocular diseases. So naturally, as an optometrist, we have a habit of co-management of ocular diseases with ophthalmologists and other medical practitioners, and considering all the ongoing or current advancements in the technology, it is like we should accept that it is like there is going to be a revolutionary changes which is uh, going to help in better ocular diagnosis of ocular diseases in the primary care setting itself. So to coming into today's core topic, it is like why do we need a multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approaches? It is like there are literatures which states standalone practice will be a serious public health issue considering the changes in the lifestyle and the evolving new diseases. So when it comes to eye care, co-management between an ophthalmologist and optometrist will help to ease the burden again, at least in case of a eye care. Okay. So to meet the present and the future challenges, we as an optometrist, we are put in a situation where we have to shift or change. We have to change the approach of eye care delivery system. So how it can be is, it should be of teamwork, and every team members in the particular team who is trained to deliver eye care system, eye care should contribute their own part for the benefit of the population. Okay. So in the future, and it is like health and safety is a huge concern. So it is like we as an optometrist should engage with the occupational health specialist. So it is like occupational optometry is again a major part which plays a major role when it when we gets into collaboration. Why I say that is, as an primary eye care professional or preventive eye care professionals, we stand in the front line for providing major guidelines which improves the employment productivity and further quality of life of an employee. So these are the major need why an interdisciplinary approach is needed. So it is like coming to the benefits of multidisciplinary approach. It encourages co-management with other healthcare practitioners, and the patient will have a continuity of eye care. It is like, it is not that it is like it is not your specialty, and then you just restrict with it. It is like you just get a continuity of eye care in a single circle, and then it is patient will have a convenient consultation with convenient communication. So when you do a multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach, it is proven to be cost effective, and to the practitioners it is a continuous learning process. So and then it helps in having a uh, or planning a strategic management plan. So all these things again contribute to a improved, again our primary aim of quality care. So these are the major benefits when it comes to multidisciplinary approach. So there are few multidisciplinary models which are already established across the world, and then I felt it is like it would be appropriate here to put in, so that it might be a starting point or a reference point for someone to start up a model or just an initiate such kind of practice. So first one is that it was a clinic which handles a complex social problems for elderly people. So it is like why it was like is, visual symptoms when it comes to elder, it might be of sometimes complex. So and it is like the way they explain, or uh, the detailing which they have sometimes might be inadequate to just find an eye pathology alone. So this particular clinic had an psychologist and a neurologist who, having those two specialties along with ophthalmology, is it is like, because in case of uh, elder patients, they are more prone to have psychological and neurodegenerative changes, which again contribute to some kind of visual problems rather than just being solely by an ocular pathology. So this was the reason why they had to combine all this and then see how the outcome is. Okay, so before going into how exactly the outcome was, it is like I'll just get into the process how they were seeing. It is like they had a, soon after they have a patient, what they just do is, it is like they just have a discussion between ophthalmologist, psychiatrist and neurologist, and then they uh, assign a clinical lead who actually takes the history and examination and additional evaluation and investigation based on the uh, common complaint which the patient is coming up with. Okay. So this is like, furthermore, after post investigation, again all the specialty people sit together and discuss the findings, and then they plan and try to manage a patient by a team, and then they just proceed with. So coming to the result, it is like the results of having this clinic, it is after attending the clinic, the number of 74% of the patients who attended this clinic were diagnosed to have new diagnosis, which was again which had a common complaint of some kind of visual problems. So, and it is like one more thing which is interesting is the ocular complaints, pure ocular complaints had came down from 9% to 6%, whereas neuropsychiatric diagnosis had increased from 40% to 89%, which is a very huge number. So this is how a monodisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach is going to have an effect on many. So coming to multidisciplinary approach, in case of a low vision patient, there are models which uh, the models which had compared how just an optometric evaluation is alone, and then optometric with other disciplinaries like rehabilitation therapy, etc. So there's like on comparing, when it comes to optometric evaluation alone, what they did is the examination and how we give a device is based on their visual function, and it is like complaints which a patient usually tell to a clinician. So based on those things, it is like they advise just an optometry. If it is a monodisciplinary, they just advise it. Whereas when it comes to multidisciplinary, it is like they train on activities of daily life, and then they give a group counseling, and furthermore they train to modify their environment more when compared with just a monodisciplinary approach. Again, when it comes to LVA prescription, optometry alone, when they were prescribing, they were found to have prescribed more LVAs than multidisciplinary approach, whereas multidisciplinary approach was more concentrating on how to improvise their uh, daily life, and then it is like how they can be make made independent. And the results were also, it is like in case of a multidisciplinary approach, they showed a improved quality of life over a 3 months than a monodisciplinary, which is just an optometric approach. Then other multidisciplinary approach which was found to be good is, it is like combined professionals of podiatry, pharmacy, optometry, and dentistry. So this like this was being developed by national diabetes education team. It is like who recommend this for having this kind of multidisciplinary approach in case of detecting diabetes, because these four disciplines are found to be the major entry point for many patients who would otherwise not even enter into healthcare system and then get themselves checked. So when you have all these four uh, professionals involved, and then try to find how go with diabetes, it is like they have a better self management, and it was found to be patient centric. So these are the three major multidisciplinary approach which was found interesting, and it is like uh, it had both general health as well as the eye care. So then coming to POMR, which is a problem-oriented medical records. So why I just want to put this here is, it is like the way we record or the document the patient is what is going to help us in a follow-up on the proper diagnosis of a patient. So problem-oriented medical records, though it was established so long back, this like it was found to be very useful, and this like it helps in the sound practice of a medical record, and it improves the quality of care with proper patient management, because just because it is like it just takes the core content, and then it has a it has all the uh, it it helps in maintaining a single chart or a single record for all the patients. So it integrates data and it helps a practitioner, or it is like it might they might be coming to a optometrist, then they might be going with an uh, uh, maybe like a cardiologist. So it is like when you have a common database to go with, they have a better diagnose. They were proven to give a better diagnostic uh, results, and then they have a better strategical management. So as I said before, it is like they also proven to have a definitive diagnosis with for patients who this like they were these kind of medical records were giving diagnosis for unresolved patients complaints as well. So these are the major uh, positives with problem oriented medical records. So then comes a so which is a subjective objective assessment and plan. So it all depends on how a patient and how our uh, clinical investigation is going with. So when we combine both problem oriented medical records, and so it was proven to have a better, it is like they give a better monitoring and update of a patients more easily than just comparing with the uh, just monodisciplinary patient record maintenance. So when it comes to multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, we should accept that it is like it is a both teaching and then a learning process. So it develops your knowledge of better handling of a patient. So it is like it is going to benefit both the colleagues who are actually working in, and then the teaching both flows both the ways. For say it is like in case if a rheumatologist, if you're working with a rheumatologist, you might be more involved in how to it is like it's better you learn how to see an x-ray and how to how that is going to have an effect, or the medication effect of a medication, how it is going to have an effect on the ocular changes. And they might be more uh, they are proven to be more interesting in finding how we examine ocular changes, and it is like the how we get an instant uh, results with the staining of ocular in ocular when it comes to dry. Okay. So these are the major things when it comes to teaching, and then it is like it is an exchange of ideas, and it is like when a team meets up, you get a more exchange of idea which helps in evolving of an standard or consistent diagnostic criteria uh, as in a stretch. So it is like uh, which helps in better uh, patient management as well. So along when it comes to consistent diagnostic criteria, and when you start to meet and discuss, you we as a professional start to get a uh, wisdom of how to manage a particular disease, and then we know this like when a particular test is to be done, when they are supposed to be retested, and it is like what is the procedure of investigation with other disciplines as well. So which will again help in further management of a chronic disease and other diseases. So this is like multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach is not just for diagnosis. It is like it is what do we do after the diagnosis. It's like how a changes occurs and how we learn upon it. It is like upon those changes. So it is like once we diagnose, we should have a regular follow-up of the medication which they are changing. It is like, let me say, if a patient is having some kind of ortho problem, and if they are taking some kind of medications, so see how that medication is going to have effect on their general health, and how it is going to have an effect on the ocular changes. So those are the things which comes with regular follow-up, and when you have a proper communication with your co-management team. Okay, so it is like, so that's how it just starts. So how to establish such relationship with your colleagues is or co-management is, it purely depends on the way you communicate. You should show your interest to examine their patient, and it is like you should know, and soon after that it is like you should have a your examination should have a should be much reliable, so that it is like or your idea should be much reliable, so that it is like that it maintains a much uh, better relationship when it comes to uh, prolonged practice or prolonged co-management. Okay. So how making connections with the community is again important. Making connection with the community is just like, if case if you have an uh, corneal specialist in your area, is like go meet him, tell him that this like you are good at contact lens fitting, or you are good at managing a keratoconus, or you are good at managing a dry eye patient, so that it is like show the interest, you show your interest on managing co-managing their patient in the when it comes to ocular part. So it is like in case if you have a rheumatologist, tell it is like go discuss with him about how an autoimmune disease is going to have an effect on dry eye, and it is like how it is going, how you can manage, and then tell him you will be able to help him with those kind of management. Okay, so it is like these are the ways again how how you can make more connection with the uh, community of other medical colleagues. So it is like there are many ways. The primary way is to have a proper communication which discuss about the knowledge and clinical skills and our attitude towards uh, checking their patient or managing their patients when it comes to ocular part. Okay. So post communication, what exactly we need is, it is like we need a good care of the patient, or of that patient who are being referred by them, and then it is like we should have a proper reporting and timely reporting of any reports which or examination which we are doing when it comes to referral. So that's when you give a response to the patients whom are being referred from other healthcare professionals. That is the place where you start building your uh, relationship with your co-management system. Okay, so we all know it is like telemedicines are going to play a major role in the future, as it is like during this lockdown itself, almost the literature says there is an increase in about 60 percentage of usage of telemedicine than in a normal days. So why telemedicine? It is like in considering the prevailing scenario, it is a one way of creating a social distance, and telemedicine is again a valid and cost effective tool. And when it comes to telemedicine, it's better we have a own platform for managing the patient data, so that it is like it would come into patient oriented medical records, and there will be a single chart for a patient. So to for you to know whether it is feasible for our practice, it is like we are planned in for a telemedicine. So what we do actually is, it is like ours is a town, and then it is like the nearby city is Madurai nearby, so it is which is almost 100 kilometers from here. So it is like what we actually do is like there are other specialty uh, uh, doctors who it is like where the patients are from this particular area. So what we do is, it is like we just try to see the follow-up cases or the investigation which the follow-up cases needed. So it is like we go talk with the doctors here, doctors over there in the city. So we just take care of the follow-up cases, and we do an investigation locally with the labs in and around this town, so that it is like when they get the reports, we just report them to the uh, particular specialist who had operated a particular patient or who was consulting the patient before. So in this way, it is like it again reduces a uh, plan. It is like again reduces the burden on a population of traveling over. So in when we do so, it is like the if the consultation is just for only maximum of half an hour or 15 minutes. So it is like when, or else the patient would have to travel the entire day, which is going to burden the patient again. So we ourselves have a this like dedicated uh, we ourselves have a dedicated service provider and a dedicated closed storage which maintains a and integrates common platform for both the consultant which who is outside and then the for us as well. So this has a better management of a patient, and we as a healthcare profession, we were able to interpret their medical findings. So it is like it just it it is in a flow. So multidisciplinary approach, it starts from learning, so it promotes active learning itself. So multidisciplinary, it is like it can be divided into curriculum, so different curriculums. Multidisciplinary curriculum is where it is like we ourselves put ourselves in a different discipline and then see a particular problem and then see how we can solve it. So for say uh, it is like we as an optometrist, we see a dry eye at different stages. It is like differently. Whereas when it comes to rheumatologists, they concentrate more on their discipline. Whereas it is like for them, the dry eye is this like they manage dry eye might be much different. So that's how we put ourselves in a different disciplines and then see how you can uh, get their point of view. So that would help in better management. And when it comes to interdisciplinary, it is like we just highlight the core contents of both the disciplines. So there's like so that you address a major issue of a patient and which has a better results than others. And then it is like when it comes to transdisciplinary, there are two disciplines they both put their highlighted findings, but they don't have a borders restricted. So it is like they investigate too much and then it is like it won't be much focus, but it helps in better gaining, or it helps in active learning of a practitioners. So there are results which showed that when we apply uh, such kind of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary work, which helps in self-teaching, so which putting it putting us in different views, and then we ourselves evolve as a better teacher for ourselves. So we try to correlate theories with practicals. It is like not just our uh, academics, just it is like we go beyond boundaries and then we have a better problem solving when it comes to it is like learning of when it comes to multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary learning, or it is like when we have a collaboration with uh, academics and uh, nearby academic parts, and when we start to exchange a knowledge. So these are the major aspects of active learning, multidisciplinary active learning. So then it comes to interdisciplinary research, where is like though we have many technologies which had eased our diagnosis, it is like developing countries are still not uh, or unable to afford such kind of technologies. And further lagging behind. So it is like we all know it is like necessity is a mother of invention, and when there is a need for affordable technology, that highlights the need for more uh, innovations, which comes with more of interdisciplinary approach. So it's like we the as an innovator, it is like when we communicate more between different disciplines, when we share knowledges between different disciplines, that is the point where we start to get uh, newer ideas. Per se, it is like uh, in case if you want to check an intraocular pressure of AI, the way we perceive is different, and if you are just going to put that to an engineer, what he thinks of it is like he thinks the eye as a balloon or a fluid-filled balloon with a thickness of particular modulus. So it is like, so the way they see is more technical, where we see is more medical. So that is the place where our ideas get evolved and then innovation gets evolved. It's like literature had already shown that it is like we as an optometrist had an increased involvement in uh, research in the past decade. It is like it was not just restricting with uh, just clinics, but it was also going till nanotechnologies. So this indicates that we are in a right path in case of a research, and we need more of such involvement in case of academics and in case of a clinics. So it's like the take home message for today is, it is like interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach will promote an active learning. So it will help to improve your professional skills and ultimately improves the quality of care and uh, patient care and the research. So the key thing which you should do is, it is like to have such kind of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approaches, to have a proper communication, and you're able to express your interest in co-managing others patient, so that it helps in uh, and having a regular follow-up, so that you learn how a patient gets changed with different medication over a time, when there is a multiple management being done. So this helps in the helps us to attain up goals of our universal eye health.